Here's a video showing or demonstrating the functionality of this Zenith Data Systems MiniSport little laptop computer. And I've only got two hands, so some of this is going to be kind of squirrely. But I'm going to set this down for just a second so I can pop this open. And we lift it up. And it just goes straight vertical and doesn't lean back. And there's a little power button on the side here. Didn't quite press it. Here we go. It's kind of a recessed little button, almost like a reset switch. So it's a little bit tricky to push in. Not super tricky, but anyway. It's hard to see because the backlighting on this doesn't seem to, I don't know how to turn it on if that's a possibility, but it is there. If you can see, there you go. See, I just put a flashlight on it. You can see the LCD is working. It's just there isn't any backlight, and whether that's a matter of replacing a little backlight bulb, or there's a function that I didn't read about or find, which is possible, that turns it on. The brightness doesn't seem to make any adjustments. So that's how that works. It works. It's obviously the LCD is there doing its thing, just hard to read. If you have like sunlight, it actually works pretty good, but it's kind of hot right now and the blinds are closed, so I'm using a flashlight instead. Beyond that though, it's kind of a neat trick this thing has up its sleeve, which if I can have more than one hand or a big reach, which I can't. So we've got function and CRT LCD. We've got a little CGA monitor here, and I have to set this down for a second. And actually we have to get out of this stuff here real quick. And you can kind of see, let's see if I can get that so it can be seen. It is in the midst of looking for the floppy disk, which isn't inserted right now. Then it's going to ask for the date. And I've already put it in, so I hit enter and enter. And now we are at the MS-DOS C prompt for DOS 3.3. And then I'm going to do that function CRT, and you can see we've jumped over to the CRT, which also shows that the CRT functionality works if you hook up a CGA monitor. From here, you can do your normal DOS stuff. It's got a bunch of programs built into a ROM drive, which is built in here into the machine. And then there is this, where do we go? These little goofy 2.5-inch floppy disks. There's only one with this system, and they're kind of very rare. So it's nice to have just at least one. It's not formatted for booting, but it is working. The drive does work. So we can go to A. Yep, there we go. And if we go directory, and it's going to show us that we have a directory folder called PB. So if we CD to PB, and we directory again, we get a bunch of stuff. I'm going to guess something like that is maybe a Hercules thing. I don't know, honestly. I don't know what this stuff is. I didn't try it out. I'm going to leave it for the new owner to figure out if this is just stuff or I don't know. This computer was bought brand new by a music store in Grants Pass, Oregon, and used, from my understanding, to control a piece of music hardware. And that may be what that stuff is. It was a demo machine, like it was used to demonstrate that piece of hardware, and it didn't really see a lot of use. In fact, on the bottom of this machine is a place for little CMOS batteries, little backup batteries. And I opened that up to change the batteries out, but it looked like batteries had never been put in it. It is pristine. Unfortunately for me, The manual doesn't say exactly what the, or for whoever, actually it's unfortunate for whoever, but I don't think it's that hard. The manual doesn't say exactly what kind of coin battery it takes. It's 2 coin batteries that it takes, but it, I'm reading on the internet, it looks like there's a fairly certain, I think it's 2402 is the coin battery. I don't have any of those handy. I just have the standard 2032s and some other 2016s and 2025s. So that's that. The other thing that this does is that this machine does color, not just black and white. And I have to set this down because there's another key combination, which is Control Alt Insert, and that will get you to a setup program, which I'm going to do here. There's some big screen stuff. Control Alt Insert. Okay, and then we go press Escape because it wants those batteries in there. And then it's going to come up to this little setup program, and there's all sorts of parameters you can check. You can see there's a lot of different stuff in here to tinker with. And then just to show though that this does color, you press C and enter, and you can see the color bars. So it does CGA color, and you can, from the manual it says you can alter how that CGA color is displayed from the laptop to the monitor. That's what it says in the manual, at least that's how I read it. The other thing you can do here is go into a little program called Setup, and you can alter all sorts of things. You can see this one says it has 1 megabyte of memory. Apparently you can expand that. You can adjust the RAM disk size, adjust different things about the ports. You can add a password, but why? You can adjust the operating speed, which I don't know how fast it goes. I believe it, I don't want to say it, maybe 6 megahertz, but I could be incorrect about that. And then maybe the backlight thing has something to do with this backlight timeout. I'm not sure. Obviously you can see there's some language stuff in the floppy and where you can boot from. And then of course you can also adjust how it starts up. So if you wanted to start up from the CRT or the LCD, you can do that. Anyway, this is a cute little Zenith MiniSport, and it's functioning, which also is very rare. The ones that I've seen go for sale are not functioning. And so this is a kind of a cool little rarity floating out there, ready for a new owner. All right, enjoy.